Harry Styles, picture this. It's 2017, and One Direction, the biggest boy band on the planet, has just gone on hiatus. Five guys who'd been living in each other's pockets for 6 years suddenly have to figure out who they are on their own. And Harry Styles? He had a choice. He could play it safe, make radio-friendly pop music that would guarantee hits, or he could take a massive risk and make the album he actually wanted to make. He chose the risk. And thank God he did. When Harry Styles dropped in May 2017, it caught everyone off guard. This wasn't boy band Harry. This wasn't the guy who sang about being up all night and getting crazy. This was someone completely different. Someone who'd been listening to his parents' record collection and fallen in love with classic rock. The album opens with "Meet Me in the Hallway," and immediately you know this is going to be different. It's hazy, it's slow, it's drenched in reverb. Harry's voice sounds tired and emotional, like he's been up all night thinking about someone who's gone. It's not a single, it's not catchy in an obvious way, but it sets the mood perfectly. Then comes Sign of the Times, and this is where Harry made his big statement. This song is 6 minutes long. 6 minutes! In an era where songs are getting shorter and shorter to fit attention spans, Harry said forget that and made an epic piano ballad that builds and builds until you're practically crying. The song feels massive, like it could soundtrack the end of the world. Critics compared it to David Bowie, to Queen, to all these legendary artists. And the thing is, Harry earned those comparisons. The song is about someone dying, about telling someone everything's going to be okay even when it's not. It's heavy stuff, and it proved Harry could handle serious, emotional material. Carolina gives you a breather with its beachy, laid-back vibe. You can practically smell the ocean and feel the sun when you listen to it. Then, Two Ghosts comes in and breaks your heart all over again. This song is clearly about a relationship that's over, where you're with someone, but you both know you're just going through the motions. The lyrics are devastating in how simple and honest they are. It's about growing apart from someone you used to know inside and out. But Harry doesn't stay in sad mode the whole time. Sweet Creature is this gentle acoustic love song that feels like a warm hug. It's intimate and sweet. Just Harry and a guitar singing to someone he cares about deeply. The song is supposedly about a long-term relationship, maybe with his family or a close friend, and it's just beautiful in its simplicity. Then we get to Kiwi, and all hell breaks loose in the best possible way. This song is pure rock and roll chaos. It's loud, it's messy, the guitars are screaming, and Harry sounds like he's having the time of his life. The lyrics are wild and don't make complete sense, and that's exactly the point. It's a song about letting loose and not caring what anyone thinks. When Harry performs this live, it's pure energy and sweat and joy. Only Angel is another rocker that starts soft and angelic before exploding into this hard-hitting anthem. Ever Since New York is melancholic and reflective. Woman has this funk groove that shows Harry experimenting with different sounds. And From the Dining Table closes the album on this quiet, devastating note about loneliness and heartbreak. What makes this debut so special is how cohesive it feels despite jumping between different styles. You've got rock songs, ballads, folk influences, even some funk. But it all sounds like Harry. It all feels connected by this thread of honesty and vulnerability. He's singing about real relationships, real pain, real joy. Nothing feels manufactured or designed by a committee. The album was a massive success. It debuted at #1 in multiple countries. Critics praised it, fans embraced it. And most importantly, Harry established himself as a serious artist, not just a former boy band member trying to stay relevant. Fine Line, 2019. If the debut was Harry proving himself, Fine Line was Harry truly finding his voice. Released in December 2019, this album is bigger, brighter, and more ambitious than anything he'd done before. Golden opens the album, and it's like walking into sunlight after being in a dark room. The guitars shimmer. Harry's voice sounds free and happy, and the whole song has this feeling of running towards something beautiful, even if you're scared. It's about vulnerability and taking chances and letting yourself feel joy. The production is crisp and modern, but still has that organic, live band feel that Harry loves. Then we get Watermelon Sugar, which became absolutely inescapable in 2020. This song is pure summer vibes. It's about pleasure, about enjoying simple things, about those perfect moments that just feel good. The groove is infectious, the falsetto is smooth, and the whole thing just makes you want to move. It dominated radio, it won Harry a Grammy, and it showed he could make a massive pop hit without compromising his artistic integrity. Adore You is another standout that became huge. The song is sweet and earnest, about being completely smitten with someone. The music video featured Harry on a fictional island befriending a fish, which sounds weird but somehow worked perfectly. The song has this bouncy, happy energy that's impossible to resist. But Lights Up was the lead single, and it's more mysterious and introspective. It's about self-discovery, about figuring out who you are when everything else strips away. The production is darker, moodier, with these pulsing synths and layered vocals. It's sexy and confident in a different way than his previous work. Cherry is where things get really personal. This song is about jealousy, about missing an ex-partner, about those moments when you hear they're with someone new and it hits you like a punch to the gut. The most striking thing is the end of the song, where there's a voicemail from his ex-girlfriend speaking in French. It's such an intimate detail to include, and it makes the whole song feel even more raw and real. Falling is probably the most emotionally devastating song Harry's ever written. It's just him and a piano, his voice cracking with emotion as he sings about a relationship falling apart and wondering what he did wrong. There's no big production, no tricks, just pure heartbreak. When he performs this live, you can hear a pin drop. Everyone's just listening, feeling every word. The title track, Fine Line, is the emotional centerpiece of the album. It's 6 minutes long and it's a journey. Starting quiet and intimate, it builds and builds until there's this massive wall of strings and vocals washing over you. The song is about contradictions, about how love and pain are often intertwined, about the fine line between holding on and letting go. It's ambitious and beautiful, and shows Harry's growth as a songwriter. Sunflower Vol. 6 has this dreamy, psychedelic quality. It's mellow and sweet, with these floating melodies that drift in and out. Canyon Moon is more upbeat and folk-inspired, with hand claps and this campfire sing-along energy. Treat People with Kindness is this big theatrical number with a gospel choir and a message of positivity and love. It's campy and fun and joyful. She is interesting because it's about a woman, but also feels like it could be about a place or an idea. It's mysterious and a bit dark. To Be So Lonely is this reggae-influenced track where Harry admits his faults in a relationship. It's self-aware and honest about his own shortcomings. What makes Fine Line such a strong album is how it captures the full spectrum of human emotion. You've got pure joy, crushing sadness, jealousy, love, confusion, confidence. And somehow it all flows together naturally. The production is more layered and sophisticated than the debut, but it never feels overproduced. Harry's voice is stronger, more confident, and he's taking more risks with melodies and arrangements. The album was a massive commercial and critical success. It debuted at #1, sold millions of copies, and cemented Harry as one of the biggest stars in music. But more than that, it showed his range. He could make radio hits and deep cuts. He could be vulnerable and confident. He could experiment with different genres while still sounding distinctly like himself. Harry's House. By the time Harry's House arrived in May 2022, Harry had nothing left to prove. He was a superstar. He'd won Grammys. He was headlining stadiums and starring in major films. So what did he do? He made his most intimate, personal album yet. Harry's House feels different from his previous work. It's quieter, more introspective, more mature. Harry described it as a day in his life, and you can feel that domestic, everyday intimacy throughout. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic heartbreak. It's about the small moments that make up a life. Music for a Sushi Restaurant opens the album with this funky, jazz-influenced groove that nobody saw coming. There are horns, there's a walking bass line, and Harry's having fun with the melody and lyrics. It's playful and weird and confident. Only someone completely comfortable in their own skin would open their album with a song called Music for a Sushi Restaurant. Then comes As It Was, which became one of the biggest songs of 2022. The song is interesting because it sounds upbeat and catchy, but the lyrics are actually quite melancholic. It's about things changing, about not being the same person you used to be, about struggling with loneliness. The opening line about answering the phone became iconic. The synth-pop production is polished and modern, and the chorus is absolutely massive. It dominated streaming, radio, and TikTok. It showed Harry could evolve his sound while still making something that connects with millions of people. Late night talking is pure joy in song form. It's about those early relationship moments when you can't stop talking to someone, when you stay up until 3 in the morning just chatting about everything and nothing. The production is clean and infectious, with these bright guitars and a groove that makes you want to dance. It's simple but effective, and it captures that giddy feeling of new love perfectly. Grape Juice is more laid back and groovy, with Harry singing about staying in and enjoying the simple things. Boyfriends is this gentle, acoustic critique of guys who don't treat their partners well. It's subtle and tender, with Harry calling out toxic behavior without being preachy about it. Then there's Matilda, which makes people cry every single time. The song was inspired by the movie, but it's really about people who didn't get the love they deserved growing up. Harry's singing to someone, telling them they can let go of their painful past and create their own family, that they don't owe anything to people who hurt them. It's incredibly compassionate and healing, and it's resonated deeply with fans who've experienced family trauma. Daydreaming is mellow and atmospheric, with Harry's voice floating over these shimmering guitars. Little Freak is more experimental, with unconventional production choices and cryptic lyrics. Keep Driving lists out all these random details and images, creating this dreamy, stream of consciousness vibe. The title track, Harry's House, brings everything together. It's about finding peace within yourself, about creating a home in your own mind, regardless of external circumstances. The production is warm and enveloping, like actually being inside a comfortable home. Cinema and Satellite continue the introspective, mature vibe. Love of My Life closes the album on this grand, emotional note, with Harry reflecting on a significant relationship. What makes Harry's House so special is how cohesive and focused it feels. Every song fits perfectly with the others. The production is sophisticated but never overdone. Harry's songwriting has matured to the point where he can convey complex emotions with simple, elegant lyrics. His voice is more controlled and nuanced than ever. The album won Album of the Year at the Grammys, making Harry one of the biggest artists in the world. But it never feels like he's chasing trends or trying to prove anything. It's just honest, personal music from someone who's figured out who they are.